Hello everybody, my name is Katie and I would like to welcome you to this live stream. I'm really excited to have you all joining us today and thank you for joining us today. We're going to be talking all about employability services that we have available to students here at DMU. We're going to cover everything from our award-winning internships and mentoring support to part-time internships, and tailored guidance for entrepreneurial students. We have some wonderful guests with us today, so would you mind introducing yourselves for me?
Hi there, my name is Phil. I'm part of the careers team here, the award-winning careers team here at DMU.
Hello, my name is Caesar. I'm currently a student at DMU doing my second year of PhD, but I did here both my undergrad and master's, so quite a long time.
Experienced student.
Enjoy being here a lot.
That's brilliant. Thank you both. Before we move on, just wanted to remind everyone that this is an interactive stream. So if you do have any questions, make sure to pop them down in the chat and we'll try and answer as many as we can before the end of this live stream. So Phil, I think I'm going to start with you. We're going to start with work experience support. Can you talk to us a little bit about the kind of employability related initiatives students get involved with here at DMU?
Yeah, of course, happy to. There's a whole range of things really, and throughout that we can talk about kind of just general work experience, but also internship support and things like that. And what we try to do is support students throughout the whole process of anything like that. So we'll help them find the things, find the roles, find the jobs, find the internships. We'll help them with the application process, doing as best they can, making sure their applications are as great as they can be, and then we'll help them prepare for interviews, things like that. And then after they've done something like that, we would also make sure we're helping them think about what they've learned from it and think about how they can take that forward into kind of future roles or future applications, because that's really important from something like work experience. So in terms of internships, we have a whole range of really great offers. So we have a number of on-campus schemes that we run. So one of those is something called Front Runners. And that's something that students can do for the year whilst they're studying alongside their studies. So it's usually about 10 hours a week that they can do, often on campus roles in different departments across DMU. And they can fit that around their studies and gain some really great experience from doing that. In addition to that, we run some short-term internships in the summer. We call that program ACE internships, and so that's again a whole range of roles. Those are usually often in companies in and around Leicester. Again, different types of things for different students. Plenty of offering different types of roles for them that they can apply for and gain that 6 weeks work experience out in industry. Alongside that, we have a whole host of support about part-time work because, of course, I know a huge amount of students will want to work alongside their studies, and that's really important. And we'll help them with that, both finding the jobs. So we have on campus, we have a team called Unitemps, and they have an office here on campus, and they have a whole range of roles that they have and they advertise for students. In and around Leicester mostly, and sometimes further afield, some on campus like student ambassadors, which we might talk about
Definitely
at some point, I'm sure. So that's one thing that they offer, but a whole range of offer of part-time work. And like I said, we'll help. That team will help specifically because it's like an on-campus job shop essentially, if you want to think of it like that. But in addition, we will kind of highlight other things and other places where students can go and find those roles. And like I said, we will try and support them throughout all those different parts of that process and make sure they can make the most of any opportunities that are thrown to them.
That's brilliant. I mean, there's a lot to get involved with for sure. And Caesar, what kind of services did you actually access during your time at DMU?
So I accessed plenty of services, starting from the careers team support. I approached them. They were an amazing team. They supported me finding a placement. During my undergrad, I did a placement within the Human Resources Department, and they helped me build my CV, create those interview skills. They had a look on my application draft. As well, they supported me throughout the entire year during my placement with support, academic support as well, assessing my activities. And afterwards, I joined Unitemps, which is a franchised agency, as Phil said, here in the campus, and I work with them as an ambassador. And after the Careers Hub was launched some time ago, I approached them and had the opportunity to do a simulation of the interview and use those fancy VR headsets to try to interact with a virtual assessor or virtual interviewer. It was a great opportunity, and they also had a double check on my CV again for future opportunities. So most of the facilities they provided, I was trying to get in touch with them and use them.
Yeah, and I know if you pop along to any of our open days as well, you'll definitely see student ambassadors in just about every single course that you go and look at. But a lot of these support services are a really great resource and a really great way to enhance your employability skills in preparation for something like a placement year, as Caesar mentioned. But I think the main thing to say is placements are such a fantastic way to gain really, really vital industry experience while you study. Typically, you're doing one between your second and your final year of study as well, so it's very flexible. It's not like you're all of a sudden completely out of your studies. You're still very much involved in the university. But Phil, can you give us a bit of an overview about how DMU actually supports students in finding these placements?
Yeah, of course, absolutely. So it's really great. We've got Caesar here as well, who can talk to kind of real world experience. But yeah, so we what we do is we have a number of colleagues who are really specialised in that area, and actually there's a team in each faculty, so that are kind of more dedicated to the area the student is interested in. And it's one thing that we do. Yeah, we do a lot around helping them find the roles, but actually there's a big piece of work to do helping them work out what's the right role for them as well, and what they might want to do. Because sometimes actually students will come and they know they want to do a placement, but they're not quite sure how and where. And so we'll definitely do some work with that on them. We have a number of workshops that we run and different sessions they can come to that kind of help them find ways to kind of think about what's important to them and what kind of might suit them and what they might enjoy. And we also do a lot of sessions with employers that come on campus or local businesses that will maybe come and do sessions about the kind of roles they have at their company, what it's like to work at their company, the different roles maybe involved in a different sector that students might not always be aware of, to kind of like really do that kind of piece of kind of opening their eyes to all the opportunities that are available to them.
Yeah.
But then, yeah, when it gets the idea, they know what they kind of want to do. We'll definitely support them with that finding piece, finding the job. So we have a dedicated site, actually, a dedicated digital platform that has a whole host of listings. So employers from across the country will add placement roles there. But as we'll add some extra ones, maybe some special relationships. We have a number of really great relationships with local employers that offer dedicated roles that are just open to DMU students. So that's really great. We're able to build those partnerships and make the most of those for students here. And so we'll promote those, and we'll make sure that platform has all of those on there. Highlight to students what's most relevant to them. We will do emails and things like that, whereby we know students we know what they're kind of particularly looking for. If there's a really great role that we know is relevant for certain students, we'll kind of make sure we email that to them. So we have that's one way of kind of finding roles. And there's a couple of other sites and places we'll tell them to look for. Sometimes certain sectors, there might be one particular place that's a really great way to find placements, and those faculty specialists in the faculties will help students make sure that they're looking in the right places at the right times as well. So we've got years of experience in the team, so we will know there's certain employers that we know they'll come at a certain time of year, they'll be open for 2 weeks, and you've got that 2 weeks, and so we'll make sure we're really on that, and we're helping students not to miss out, and that's definitely stuff we do to help them with the finding process.
And you mentioned that some employers come onto campus and actually give talks. You must also get feedback from employers. What do you find their opinion is about students who are doing placements with them?
We do a lot with employers, and they, like you say, we get them on campus for, like say, those kind of events and big fairs. The general feedback about placements for employers is that they're a really great way for students to build some confidence, build some experience that will really benefit them, both when they come back to campus, but particularly after their university time when they're looking for that graduate role. The skills they've learnt, but also the personal growth they've made, like the things they've learned about themselves in that process, are really valuable to them and make them a really great candidate when it comes to kind of leaving university. Just gives them that extra head start. Okay, not everyone can do a placement, but those work experience skills, and particularly like, okay, a placement's a year long, so you are going to gain that times or whatever over that time, and then it's really going to make a difference. So we get some really positive feedback from employers. They really like that fact. We do know that a number of employers will take on quite a number of the students. They'll give them offers before they've even started their final year, so they'll go and do a placement. Well, that does happen, not with everyone, of course.
No, of course not.
But it's quite common for employers to have used that year to kind of, they've spent a year working with the student, training them, and it makes sense for them to try and offer them to keep them and take them afterwards, right, if they've got the place. And so that's definitely something that happens. And so they really talk to the benefit of that, and we see that with the students. We see, we'll get feedback from academic colleagues as well in their final year. students are using sometimes things they've done on placement, and they're using it in their assignments, they're using it in their projects, and it helps them actually sometimes even just do even better with their studies in that final year as well. So it has that benefit, and you can definitely tell sometimes the students that have been on placement for a year, just, I don't know, you learn a lot of personal skills, you learn a lot of things, and so they're just, that confidence level when they come back is just up, and that kind of, that dedication, it's really beneficial in lots of ways.
I mean, Caesar, you did a placement year yourself, so you can speak to everything that Phil has just said, but what did you do and how did you actually find it being on placement?
I did my placement within a really big company, Plexus Corporation. They are headquartered in the US, so they started operation in the US nearly 50 years ago, but they extended operations in the Europe, both UK and Romania. And I did my placement back in Romania because they had the biggest manufacturing site over there.
Yeah.
I did it within the human resources department because my degree was in business and management, so I was trying to find something similar. I was trying to find something around supply chain logistics. I did a quick internship on program management and afterwards one on logistics, but I found my place around the human resources area. So they provided me a 1-year paid contract to be a training administrator within the human resources department, and I was dealing with all the trainings required for the employees, so within the learning and development zone, and each week I was training about 50 or 60 new employees. It was like a big manufacturing plant, which had around 3,000 employees, so it was a massive recruitment every week going on. Afterwards, I had the opportunity for a short time to do some recruitment as well, so I managed to recruit a few dozen new employees as well, and I was contributing in the recruitment process, in developing new training materials, and also delivering those trainings, which were mostly on soft skills, because my background is not within engineering manufacturing, but I was helping them with the soft skills training. It was a great experience. I still recall the HR director coming at the end of this experience to me and telling me, "You are changed." So after 1 year doing a placement, you totally changed, because I've been at uni for 2 years before, because as with a placement year, it has temperature between second and third year. So being at uni out of one was with COVID times, so quite remote.
Difficult,
It was difficult to shape my character, to shape my behavior, so it was a great opportunity to learn what's about organizational behavior, how to act in an organization, how to work in a team, how to approach your team or any team you're getting involved. So after that entire year, the HR director came to me, "You're changed, you're totally changed compared to when you came here," in a good way. And also some academics spotted that one, this behavior after I came back to uni, and I started to treat uni as a 9-to-5 full-time job after doing a placement, because I got more responsibility, I got more engaged, so treating my personal or my professional career as something serious, as you're treating a job, not something that is optional and quite flexible. And it was a great experience. I made so many friends. I'm still in touch with many employees from that company. I'm still in friends with them. And careers team helped me throughout the entire year, as mentioned before, because as a placement year student, you still got access to DMU services, online services and physical services as well, and you're also enrolled to a module called placement year module. So you have to submit a regular feedback to your placement coordinator, which is someone part of the careers team, and in case you need any support, which may be academic support or personal support, you still got in touch with your personal tutor, with your placement coordinator, or even the careers team, so they'll help you to get in touch if anything happens, if you need any support or you just need any feedback.
It's really lovely to know that even though you're maybe away from university, that you're not actually ever so far from support. You've got people who are checking up on you all year round. Well, thank you so much, guys, for that. But we do have a short video that we wanted to show you. It's going to give you an idea about the kind of placements some of our students have done and the amazing skills I got to develop along the way. So let's play that video now.
Hi, I'm Jasmine Kaur. I'm a final year accounting and business management student here at De Montfort University. As part of my course, I undertook a placement year at Pfizer, the global pharmaceutical company. My role was in the HR team at Pfizer, where I worked on recruiting undergraduates who wanted to do a placement year at Pfizer. So that means working with a lot of CVs, working on a lot of interviews. Over my time there, I recruited over 86 undergraduates for Pfizer and then also worked on a lot of other HR duties.
Hi, my name is Farah Abdullah and I'm a final year student studying business and marketing at De Montfort University. As a part of my course, I took a placement year after my second year. I did my placement year at Amatec GB. So Amatec GB is a parent company that has 150 different business units and which specializes in engineering. My role was a field marketing specialist, and what I did was helped 50 different business units in the UK. Any exhibition needs, any digital needs that they needed, I basically provided it for them.
The careers team actually told me what the placement year means, all the opportunities that are available there, and how I can get those opportunities. They obviously help you with the usual things of running over your CV, helping you prepare for the interviews, helping you find the right role for you. But at the end of the day, it's also good to have a bunch of people who know what you're trying to do and who are always there to support you, who are there to give you words of encouragement and kind of tell you that you can do it. So yeah, I would say make use of the careers team because they are the right bunch of people who can help you get a placement year if that's something you really want.
So before applying to my placement, I booked a few meetings with the careers team, and they were honestly so helpful, so amazing. They actually encouraged me to apply for that specific job role that I applied to. And the deadline was actually on that day. So as soon as I finished that meeting, I went home and I applied straight away and I actually got it. They were honestly amazing, so encouraging and motivating, and they supported me throughout the whole way. If you're thinking of applying for a placement year, please, my one advice would be don't give up. Please don't be discouraged. Rejections are bound to happen. Please don't be demotivated by any rejections that you get. And no matter what, just keep going, because you never know, somebody might reply to you and just say, congratulations, you've got this placement.
So my advice to anyone who's trying to get a placement year is don't give up and don't undermine yourself. Don't feel like you don't have the experience or the right skills. If you want something, work hard for it. You might get no's on the way. Just remember those no's. You have to go through a certain number of no's to get to that one final yes. So there is a role out there for you. You just have to keep on applying. You just don't have to give up and work hard, and you'll get one that you really want to get.
Yeah, okay.
What support provided?
So we hope this video gave you more insight into the world of placements. We're going to go on to chat a bit more about the actual employability facilities that are available to all students here at DMU. So I know we're going to go back on some subjects as well, but could you actually tell us what facilities there are for students and how students can go about using them?
Yeah, of course. So we have a whole kind of wide range of facilities, and in that I think it's important to kind of say we have both on-campus facilities. So, and I think Cesar mentioned briefly something like about the Careers Hub and things. So we have lots of support that they can access on campus, but we also have digital support as well. So kind of those things they can access when they're not on campus or out of hours, or kind of extra things they want to do at the weekends, if that's so be it. So as a starting point, I guess let's talk about the Careers Hub, because it's been mentioned before. So we're really fortunate that we have this really great space now right at the heart of the campus, which the Careers Hub, and so that's there Monday to Friday 10 till 3 anytime, and students can drop into that anytime and speak to a member of the careers team. We actually have a number of ambassadors that staff that hub, and they're a fantastic team. Actually, students who are doing front-runner internships, actually.
Oh, brilliant.
So we have this kind of peer support program that we develop. They're supported by full-time career staff who are always in the room as well. But yeah, we have that peer learning and peer support process as well, which we think is really great, and a lot of students respond really well to that. Often they are students who have been through some of those things themselves. They've been through that placement process themselves, and they can kind of share their experiences directly. So yeah, we have that career hub. It's got, as I said, it's staffed every day. They can drop in, maybe get someone to check their CV, get someone to help them book an appointment with one-to-one with one of our careers advisors. They can go through an application, or I really need to have some part-time work. Where should I be looking? All those different kind of things that students might want to ask us about. They can come in and talk to us there. We also have some VR headsets, which Cesar talked about earlier. So we have these really fantastic headsets, which
we're going to pop onto that a little bit later. Getting excited about the technology.
So a big part of my role actually is that some of that digital stuff that we have alongside. I get quite involved in some of those bits in my role. So a different element of digital support we have is we have a whole range of online platforms. So I think I mentioned earlier when we were talking about finding jobs, we have an essential platform which we call My Gateway. And students can find jobs and things on there. But in addition to that, there's a whole other range of services available to them. So they can use it to book online appointments as well. They can use it to book on-campus appointments. So we have dedicated careers advisors that will do one-to-one appointments with students, whether they're a first year or a final year, at different stages, whether they're someone who's looking for a placement or looking for help with an internship, trying to work out what's the right role for them or the right route for them in the future. So they can book appointments like that.
Am I right in saying that you can also book one-to-one appointments too? It's not necessarily a group session.
No, so most of the appointments we run are one-to-one. So and with a careers advisor that's dedicated to your faculty. So and we have specialist ones for different types of appointments. So you can absolutely book those through their one-to-one appointments. Usually about 30 minutes, but sometimes longer depending on what's going on. That kind of is an add-on to those. So you've got an add-on to that careers hub element. So we've got that drop-in thing. Students can just come in any time, but if maybe that doesn't work for them, or it's something that needs a bit more of an in-depth conversation, they can get signposted into that and book an appointment with those advisors and the direct support. And again, with some of those things that we spoke about earlier. In addition to that, there's a whole host of events on there. It has a whole program. We run huge programs of workshops on campus. We have online webinars that we might run, or maybe employers are running, or partner employers we're running together. Those can all be booked through there. Some kind of events that we have, so we have obviously big careers fairs, particularly once a year. We have our really big main careers fair. We have 50, 60 employers all in the room that students can come and talk to about opportunities and things like that. But then we also have small kind of skills workshops, or specific workshops on how to improve your CV, or how to build a really great LinkedIn profile. All those kind of different elements and different scales of events they can book onto there, and they can get all that. And that's all kind of apart from the digital platforms. Alongside that, other things online those practice interview tests and practice video interviews. We've got a number of platforms for doing some of those things, because they're definitely worth having a go at and practicing. And so we've got a whole range of things for that. So we've got some really, really, really great facilities, I think, that can support students both, like I said, on campus or online, whether they're different times of the day, whenever they need that support.
Yeah, and I mean, are you open all day on campus, so students can just come at their own convenience?
Yeah, largely. So that career hub is 10 till 3, the kind of core hours of a student's a day. We'll sometimes open it for evenings, sometimes particularly for special events we'll do extra things. So there's one colleague who runs an Inside Edge mentoring program, and that's a really fantastic program where we run a whole range of different mentoring support, and he'll do that, and he'll get panels of local employers on. I know it's a really good option for students to come in and ask questions, talk to them, but also then they'll get through that process. They might get set up with a one-to-one mentor that's a local mentor in industry, so we'll use it for things like that. But going back to the kind of the question about open, we also have our faculty offices. I think as I mentioned earlier, we got support from his faculty team with the placements, so we do have faculty offices as well, and students can drop into those as well, and they're probably open a little bit longer because our staff are generally here 9 till 5 at least, and they'll kind of drop into them. That's certainly where they'll generally go for their appointments, but they can usually just pop in and see us if they really desperately see us. Sometimes with really great news, they really want to come to us, they tell us they've got a placement, they're really excited, and those are the best days, so they come in and we have that nice moment. Sometimes maybe, I've got an interview tomorrow and I'm really worried, and we can just do some last minute quick help with them and prep and things. Or sometimes just some general support, some general advice, and get them moving forward. So we're here all the time, particularly in the midweek and stuff.
Just wanted to quickly add, in terms of facilities provided, those amazing facilities provided by the careers team were one of the main reasons why I initially chose to study at DMU. and one of the major reasons why I chose to continue with DMU for my master's and PhD as well, because we got this amazing career team, also amazing awarded team. And back in when I was there as a prospective student, DMU had one of the highest rates in the country of employability after you graduate within the next
I think
6 months.
That's probably really important now,
All
isn't
of
it?
these career aspects were really important for me as a student, as a prospective student, when I chose to come at DMU. So definitely look into that, because when I have my ambassador sessions with kids, with college students, and I ask them, for how many of you employability is important? Why do you do a degree? You're doing a degree because you want to do something with it, right? You want to develop yourself, but you also get a better approach to the industry. And all of them, yes, I want to work, I want to get in industry. Okay, so look for a uni which provide that support for you, so you can get in the industry after you do that degree.
Yeah, it's really sounding like it's important to the university and it's important to the careers team that they start preparing you for after university almost immediately as soon as you join university, because I think some people might just get caught up in the here and now, but I think it's becoming more and more important to actually start looking further ahead sooner than people realise, because 3 years, that ticks by very fast.
Yeah, it absolutely does. Yeah, absolutely. It's important that they think about the whole process, and we do try and encourage that as much as possible. And we definitely will run different types of sessions for different levels, because it's very much, what you want in your first year is obviously different to what you want in your final year. But absolutely, we will try and encourage them to engage in different ways throughout their whole degree. We try and kind of highlight which are the really useful things to do. So, particularly in your first year, if you can get some little bits of work experience, that's really valuable. And then, that will actually help you then if you're looking for a placement. When you're going for those placement interviews, you've got some skills to build from and something to talk about in your interviews and help you develop. And absolutely, that first year also can be used to kind of exploring some of those different options. So where we talk about we bring employers on campus, maybe they might discover jobs that they just didn't realise they were available to them. There's a lot of employers that will take students from degrees that they might not instinctively think. They might think, I've got a law degree, so I've got to work in law, and it's not always the case. There's a whole range of different options for them, and they might discover something. We just encourage them to explore those options in their first year, so they can get a really good idea of what might work for them. Develop those little bits of work experience, building it bit by bit, and it's we'll always be helping them throughout to try and maybe take that next step, but also think about what they've learned and what they can take that forward to, and what's next, what are the next obvious steps.
Well, we've spoken about the Careers Hub so much, but we've actually got some guests there now that are going to actually join us live. So let's head over there now, and we're going to show you all the employability facilities that we've actually been talking about.
Hi Katie, so we're currently in the Careers Hub and we're joined by Julia, who is DMU's Career Ambassador. So the Careers Hub is essentially a space for students to come along and get some specialist career advice. It's open from 10 a.m. till 3 p.m. on weekdays. So Julia, so tell us a bit more about the Careers Hub and what students can do.
Of course. Hi everyone, my name is Julia and I'm a Careers Ambassador at Moffat University. We help students both personalise and practical. We give them practical guidance. We make sure their CVs are strong, well structured, and properly tailored to each job description. I help students with enhancing their LinkedIn profiles so they feel more confident and more comfortable when applying for new opportunities. And it's just a space where everyone can come in and ask any career-related questions, and we guide them accordingly.
That's amazing. So can students pre-book their sessions or can they just drop by?
They can just drop by anytime from Monday to Friday, 10 a.m. till 3 p.m. Like I said, anytime and as many times as they want to.
That's perfect. So tell us a bit more about this VR headspace. So what is it? So what is it used for?
So the VR headsets that we have is a virtual interview practice. So it allows students to practice their interview skills and to make sure they feel more comfortable when they are in the actual real life interview. And then it just gives them a chance to see how they answer questions under a bit of pressure, and then that's when they will feel more ready for their upcoming interview.
That's amazing. So that's all from us. Let's head back to the studio.
Quickly pop them in. A recent graduate called Danish, who's currently working as a mechanical plant engineer for Tata Steel. Again, we have Danish only for a moment, so if you do have questions, make sure you pop them in the chat before we go, and then we can get them answered for you. Just waiting to pop him on. There we go. Hi, Danish.
Hi, Kate. You okay?
Yeah, not too bad, thank you. Could you tell us a bit how you secured your job? When did you start looking? What kind of support did you access? And how did you find the interview process?
So, hi everyone. It's great to be with you today. My name is Danish Chilwan. I studied mechanical engineering at DMU in 2023, and I'm here to talk to you about my journey into employment, my experience at DMU, and how to got my grad role. So, I think after my course, I secured a mechanical engineering position at Tata Steel UK, which is a large steelworks in South Wales where we produced steel for packaging and automotive panels. I spent my first couple of months rotating around different plants and learning how everything works. And after just 6 months, I was promoted to mechanical plant engineer in one of the most complex departments. And I think that came down to my eagerness to learn and my confidence and my passion for engineering, I guess. The kind of things I do is plan major maintenance shutdowns, manage contracting and engineering teams, deal with delays in the factory, and keep everything running safely and smoothly ultimately. Outside of work, I'm really passionate about STEM and helping young people get into engineering or STEM. I've worked with the likes of Mercedes, Williams F1 teams on STEM programs, and I mentor students who are following a similar path to mine. Recently, I was honoured to be named a finalist for Engineering Graduate of the Year at the National Talent Award, which is a huge milestone for me. I'm currently really enjoying my job because no 2 days are really the same. I get to take ownership of real engineering problems, and it's quite challenging, but at the same time, it's giving me the chance to apply what I've learned at university and applying to real life engineering principles. So when it came to looking for grad roles, I started at the beginning of my final year and treating it like any other module. I would apply consistently each week. I would use a tracking tool to help me stay organized, and it helped me follow up and stay on top of deadlines basically. Along the way, I'll be honest with you, I faced a lot of rejections, but each interview kind of taught me something valuable: how to communicate more effectively, how to refine my answers and approach applications better. Starting really early helped me build the confidence and be ready when the right opportunity came along. I still remember my first interview. I wasn't really prepared, but it wasn't until I took advantage of DMU's award-winning careers team that made a difference to my interview skills. I first made an appointment with the careers team where I went through my CV and cover letter in detail, and I would get actionable feedback, and they taught me techniques like the STAR technique, which actually helped me secure the job I am in today. On services like My Gateway, I often found jobs which I would look and apply for, which I didn't even know existed or were in that field. So I would apply, and I think that's one of the key things to take away is make the most of everything that DMU has to offer. It's there to help you, and keep an eye on their social media channels, because I know for a fact on like Instagram and Facebook and stuff like that, they regularly share careers fairs, employer talks, workshops that will help you become more employable. When it came to looking what position was right for me, it was a result of trying different opportunities at university. I was heavily involved in a society called Former Student, which is a is based in Queens, which is a society where students design, build, and race real race cars at Silverstone against teams from across the world. I started in the petrol team at DMU University, where as a team we finished sixth out of 100 plus teams, which was huge, which is the highest position in the history of the uni. The following year we moved to electric team, where I was the lead drivetrain engineer, where it ultimately developed my practical skills, my teamwork skills, and my ability to lead under pressure. Alongside that, another opportunity I looked up was one I found through Unitemps, which was to be a teacher assistant at university. So I was selected to lead mechanical principles at university, where I would teach first years mechanical engineering modules. I would run practical workshops and create resources to help students learn. Ultimately, these experiences kind of led to one of the biggest things I've had to do in my career, which is through a partnership through DMU and the Royal Academy of Engineering. I was selected to be a race engineer at Extreme E with GMC Hummer EV Ganassi racing team, which I used to watch them growing up on TV. So actually being part of the race series was like a dream come true. I would work on the cars charging cooling systems, assisting with pit crews, checking data, helping with repairs, and ultimately I got to experience a podium, which was the first for the team. So that was quite cool. All these experiences, former student, teaching, and Extreme E, these all kind of gave me the hands-on practical experiences, working under pressure, which I kind of helped bring to this role today. They helped me realize that I'll be able to apply these roles into the position I am now, and that's one of the reasons why I picked the heavy industry as a role, because I could transfer the skills I learned from university into this role. And for example, my interview for Tata Steel, one of the same system that I did on my dissertation actually came up, which confirmed that it was the right choice for me.
Yeah, that's really amazing to hear. I mean, it's no wonder you're doing so well. I mean, you've really taken advantage of every opportunity possible. We do have a question for you that's popped through. What advice do you have for students applying for graduate roles?
I think the best thing to do, I think what I say to everyone is take the advantage of all the opportunities that are available for you. For example, I took advantage of the opportunities that DMU gave. For example, I was a student ambassador for engineering, where I would talk to prospective students. But ultimately, I was very introverted when I first came, and it helped me develop communication skills when speaking to prospective students. And former students helped my practical skills. I think, like I said before as well, I did face a lot of rejections when it came to applying for jobs. Like, I was in the same position that you guys may be, where it is quite hard, and it's quite a competitive field, so it is quite hard to find a job. I'd say don't give up and use each rejection and each application as the learning point.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's definitely perseverance is key, isn't it? And when you've got such a, as you mentioned, award-winning careers team, it would be really silly to not take advantage of them while you're here. Just one last question before we let you go, because I'm sure you're very busy. What was your favourite thing about studying at DMU?
I think the best thing for me at DMU is it's the wide range of things available to you. For example, like the societies for me, like I've said before, it kind of changed my career, because I never was passionate about motorsport until I came to university and I saw the Formula Student team, and that kind of paved the way for me. And I've since being part of society, like I said, I've worked at Red Bull. I had a mentor from McLaren racing. I recently went to the British Grand Prix in Silverstone, where I would talk to kids and talk to students who are passionate about STEM too, and talk about my experiences. These all kind of opened doors for me, and it kind of put me in the right step. And like I said, even though I work in the heavy industry, I've got my foot in the motorsport industry where I'm constantly networking with people in that industry. So I'd say one of the best things is the opportunities available for students.
Wow, that's really amazing here. I mean, thank you for joining us today. We wish you all the best. I mean, I'm sure you're going to absolutely excel in everything you do anyway. But no, thank you so much for joining us, and all the best.
Of course, thank you very much.
Thank you. Bye. Wow. I mean, don't get much more of a model student than that, do you?
It was really insightful.
Yeah, it was amazing. So we're going to go do like a little bit of backwards now. We're going to go back to our careers hub, following on from Roshni and Julia. So they mentioned the VR headset, and I know we touched on it a little while ago, but now you can finally talk about it. So you're familiar with it. How does it benefit students?
So the VR headsets are a really great tool. And there are ways of doing this, not in VR, don't get me wrong, it doesn't work for everyone, but that it's a soft skill development tool. So some of those kind of skills it's really hard to kind of teach yourself without actually doing it and practicing it and kind of improving it as you go. So those kind of communication skills, but also those job interview situations, those simulations of those kind of situations. And the headsets, we use an app on it, and it lets you go and take part in various simulations. There are certain ones which will train you in certain techniques, so maybe techniques for really answering certain types of questions you get a lot in interviews. And then there are some that are kind of like role-play simulators, so you can go in and you can do a practice interview, you can do it for a particular role, or different, you can practice certain types of questions that you know you struggle with quite a bit, and it will do that, and it will take part in the simulation in VR with an avatar, and then it will give you some personalised feedback. It'll help you think about how to improve the structure of your answer, but also just the way you deliver it, so like things like the way you're kind of speaking, how quickly you're speaking. We all speak too quickly in interviews because we all get panicked, and those kind of things, and it will help you, and the students can do that, and they can also kind of watch back and self-reflect, so they can go, because it's VR, you can kind of go back and watch the simulation back and learn from it yourself, and then you can redo that, improve it, and that's a really, really great thing to do. A lot of students find that a really good first step to start building that confidence. That's why it really benefits students, because it's that kind of safe space. They can do it without anyone watching them or checking up on them, without anyone kind of criticising them, and do it to build the confidence. And then maybe they might go on to kind of a mock interview in person or something. But it's a really, really good way to kind of build confidence, repeat that practice, and they're really realistic simulations. It's quite surprising how lost you get in it as a thing.
Cesar, did you use the VR headset at any point? What was your experience using it? 'Cause I think it's amazing. It's like, it's just so unusual to hear.
It's really amazing. It was fascinating. I did actually. I tried them twice. Once right after they were implemented in the project of the new Careers Hub, and second time after they updated the software. It's like a new software they're using where you can actually input the actual job you're going to want to work on. So before that was like a quite standard one. You can practice some interview skills. You can simulate different situations like presentations in front of the employer, working in a group project as well, part of the assessment task. But after the new software was updated, you can actually input your job you want to work into. Let's say you want to become a student ambassador. You're gonna have an interview, some tasks required for this role. It's like a big job description. And you can input that into the software, and you can simulate based on that one. And it's really useful because it's no one to judge you there besides of a virtual person there who's providing you feedback. And it definitely made me feel more comfortable doing this, because in my opinion, practice is the key. So whatever is an exam at the uni, or you're doing a sport, or you want to go for a job, practice is essential, because in many cases getting some feedback from fellow students, fellow colleagues who applied for jobs or for graduate roles, the ones who achieved the most opportunities were the ones who practiced before on mock questions, mock skills, and this is a great addition to simulate the situation and get an idea on what's going to be in real life.
I mean, we've just got so much amazing software and hardware that we've just started speaking through that is just, it's free and available for you, so you might as well use it while you're here. Thank you both once again. Just a reminder for everyone watching though, we do have a chat that you can add any questions into for a little Q&A session at the end. So if you do have any burning questions, don't forget to put them in, because we'll be trying to answer as many of them as we can. So we hope you can start seeing that DMU offers such a wealth of career support services to everyone. But did you actually know that most of our services are still available to students even after they graduate? So can you tell us how DMU, Phil, starts preparing students for their first graduate job and then even beyond that?
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, we do huge amounts in their final year. That's that big year. Like like we said earlier, we try and encourage students to engage with us as much as possible throughout the whole time. Not everyone does, and sometimes someone will come to us in final year and that classic last minute panic, but we try to avoid that as much as possible. But yeah, we've got a whole range of sports in that final year, and we do, like you say, we continue all of our support after they graduate. So in terms of final year, some of the really specific things we have a number of targeted programs that can help people. So for example, we have a program that's called Future You, which is a really specific program that helps students in final year. That will cover things like some of the kind of general skills in kind of job etiquette that we talked about, and things that you might have learned across a placement, those professional communication skills, some of those things. It will also help students with some of those personal skills they're going to need postgraduate, like financial budgeting, finding accommodation. When it's not student accommodation, you've got to do that all for yourself in the real world. So there's some elements of that, but then we'll also have employers on delivering some sessions, and we'll do some sessions about LinkedIn and things like that. So we've got a really dedicated kind of package program specific for final years to give them all the kind of experience and the confidence with all the things they're going to need. We also have actually a number of support programs, which although actually not just for final year, throughout university, but it often comes up a lot in final year, around students who are interested in starting their own business or kind of want to work freelance or work self-employed. So we have a dedicated team, our DMU Made team, who and they will support with those. They run some really specific workshops around different elements of that, helping students understand what's involved, the kind of all the practicalities, but also kind of helping them develop their ideas, helping to learn how to build a really great business plan. We run kind of pitch competitions. They can sometimes win some money towards that project and get themselves set up and started. So we've got some really great teams doing that, because I think it's important to know that there's loads of options for students in their final year, and they can go different ways. For some students, starting their own business is absolutely what they want to do, so it's important we give them the right support for what they're going to need, which is perhaps a bit different to a student who wants to go to a specific role in a graduate company, in a big company, and so we do all of that, and so we still continue to provide all that one-to-one support. All those one-to-one appointments are offered. We still have those kind of employer sessions, mentoring, things like that still available. And then, as you mentioned, we do continue that post graduation. So the majority of our service, so things like our online platforms, My Gateway, things like some of the one-to-one appointments, and the support they can get coming to even our events and our careers fairs, that's still available to students when they graduate, and we still offer that to them continuing. We sometimes, maybe we've talked to a student 5 years down the line who maybe they've actually gone so far they actually now want a bit of a change, and we've helped them with that. So that's something we continue to do. In addition to that, we had actually some targeted programs for students quite early after they graduate.
Okay.
So maybe for some reason, whatever's happened, it's not quite worked out for them, and maybe they didn't immediately go into the right role for them, or they haven't quite found the right opportunity. So we actually do have a number of ways and programs we support them, and that includes a graduate internship program we run. So a bit similar to some of those internship programs we were talking about earlier, but roles, fixed-term roles where they can work in an industry. A lot of them are in local Leicester, but actually there are some others around the country that we spread that a bit further. We've able to build some really good partnerships, because obviously not all our students will stay in Leicester. And then there's an internship program to help them get a bit more confidence, maybe if it's not quite, if they've struggled a bit post-university, get that confidence, get that experience, and then we can support them again, continue to support them with that graduate role, maybe get them where they want to be. So that's something we offer as well. Still offer targeted programs as well as just the general access to our services for graduates. So we like to try and do the best we can to get everyone to where they want to be, really. That's
and you're doing the best.
The careers team is really starting to feel like a safety net, so you have so much less uncertainty uncertainty going out. You're not just thrown out after university and then figure it out yourself.
Oh,
which
yeah,
is
no, absolutely.
the most terrifying process, I think. We are nearing the end of today's live stream, so I'm just going to pop over to the chat and see if we have any questions that we can answer. We have one here. Is on-campus jobs best, or are there other types of jobs?
There's a whole range of things, and I guess that will depend on the individual, right, and the student, and what's going to work best for them, and we will try and help them understand that and help them find the right solution for them. So absolutely, on-campus jobs are really great for some students because, you know, it means they can do a lecture and then 15 minutes later they could be starting their job, right, and then they can maybe work an afternoon and sometimes go and head off to a library for a bit in the evening afterwards. So some students find that really, really convenient, and that's what's sometimes really great about some of the front-runner internships we talked about.
Yeah.
They can fit that in around their jobs and that flexibility.
Yeah.
And so, that can work really well. But sometimes, like particularly if it's a job, I don't know, that involves some evening work or different places, and so maybe sometimes students would quite like to work somewhere different. They don't want to do everything on campus. And so absolutely that's important to recognise. Or maybe the type of role they need is something they can't get on campus. And we definitely have those available. So the uni temps, although it's based on campus and has on-campus roles, they also work a lot with roles around the city, around the county, and there's opportunities available. As same with some of our employer partners for our internships. So, it's individual and will help you to try and find what's best for you.
No, definitely. We've also got another one, is what type of facilities is DMU going to provide to its new students along with study? I mean, I suppose the question also is, how early can you start accessing all your amazing services?
As early as you want, really. Like, so as soon as you're kind of ready and started up, you'll get access to us. And once you're here, you could drop into the Careers Hub on day one, and actually we do run in that first few weeks we run a whole extra kind of set of events and programs going on that Careers Hub, really to kind of introduce students to all the different options and services that are available, explain some of these different things and how they can access them, and when maybe might be the best time for them to try and do different things. From day one, really, if they want. Obviously not everything's going to be perfect for them in first year, we do say start looking for placements early, but maybe not day one. I mean, hey, if you want to start training, but we can wait for that. So from day one we'll be there. We do, like I said, we run another induction services, so we'll try and introduce students to that, and we'll support them at different times, try and point them in the right direction of what's right for them at the right time.
I think we are nearing the end of the session, unfortunately. Hopefully everyone's questions have been answered, but thank you so much for joining us today. We hope this live stream gave you a good idea about the variety of employability support and opportunities available here at DMU if you do decide to join us. A huge thank you to Philip and Caesar for joining us today, and to Danish as well. We are running up a follow-up employability focused TikTok Q&A session. That's next Thursday at 4:30 p.m. with some of our current students as well. They're going to be there to answer any of your questions about career support available, tell you about their journeys as well, so it'll be even more people speaking about their own personal experiences. You can book your spot on the live streams page. This means we'll send you a reminder on the day so you don't miss it, because we're all terrible at booking reminders and then actually forgetting to turn up. We also have loads of other digital events coming up. We've got the Course Spotlight series that is taking the place across multiple days over December. We've got academics from various courses talking all about what makes their unique courses so unique. So if you visit our live streams page, you can find out all the information you need to find out there. Once again, thank you to everyone for joining us, and we hope to see you again soon. Bye.